Hello there, beautiful people, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters. My name is Miss Danielle. Here on my channel, we talk about all things Jesus Christ. If that's something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and let's get right into the video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 10 sacred foods of the Bible. This is important because anything that God mentions in the Bible and that was relevant back in biblical times, back before Christ and with Christ, is good for us. So I want to remind you that all of these man-made and processed foods and things that we're eating that are not literally growing from the ground or that comes from the earth are bad for us. These things that I'm about to tell you about are good for us. I'm going to tell you 10 sacred foods and I'm going to tell you the benefits of each food. So I'm going to keep it real simple. We're going to get right into it. First, I want to let you guys know what the definition of sacred is. Sacred literally means connected to God. It's something that's dedicated to a religious purpose. So literally the word sacred means connected with God. And all of these foods, they are found in the Bible. I got verses to back them up. I'm just about to get right into it. The first sacred biblical food that is mentioned in the Bible is apples. The verse for apples is Songs of Solomon 2:5, which reads, "Stay me with flagons, comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love." So in the Songs of Solomon, he's talking about he wants to be comforted with apples. So a lot of us don't even know that some of the foods today was mentioned way back then. The benefits of apples is it is high in fiber. Fiber is good for us because it helps our digestion and it helps us feel full. The food today, it lacks fiber. That's why we never feel full after we get a combo or this, that, and the third. And we are always constipated. Fiber helps with that. Also, apples are high in vitamin C. Vitamin C is good for healing. It promotes energy. It's good for your skin. All of that. Apples are good for digestion. Like I said, the fiber helps with the digestive system. It gets things moving and flowing. Also, apples are good for brain health. They help clear your mind and help you think better. Also, apples protect you from chronic disease. Now, apples are good to eat and also they're good to juice. If you don't juice yet, start thinking about juicing. Juicing is really good. And I know this bomb recipe is apples, kale, and oranges. Juice it together, bomb. The second sacred food from the Most High God is beans. Beans is mentioned in 2 Samuel 17:28. Brought beds and basins and earthen vessels and wheat and barley and flour and parched corn and beans and lentils and parched pulse. Beans were something that they used back in biblical times to, eat and plant. You can have beans in your cabinet and pantry for the longest. Like beans, they don't go bad. Beans are good for fiber. Again, they get things going. They're good for your gut health. Our gut is responsible for a lot of the ways that we feel. A lot of people don't know that, but it's important that we watch what we eat and protect our bodies from all these chemicals and stuff that they have in the foods today. Also, beans are high in B vitamins. They're a good plant-based protein. So again, beans can keep you full. They're good for your protein if you don't eat meat or if you want to start not eating meat. The third sacred food from the Most High God is honey. Honey is mentioned multiple times in the Bible. I know a familiar verse is like in a land flowing with milk and honey. Honey is really good for you. So the verse for honey is Exodus 16:31. And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. So again, honey is good for your blood sugar regulation. The thing about honey is it's so healing, and it's a natural type of sugar. Also, honey has antifungal properties. Again, this is good for wound healing. And if you can put honey on a cut or a wound, imagine what you're doing to your body on the inside when you put like honey in your teas or you put honey in oatmeal, smoothies, whatever. It's gonna heal the body. Also, it's good for wound healing, like I just said. It can promote healthy skin. Again, honey is a healing type of serum, so it's good for your hair. You can put it in your hair mask. You can put it on, like if you make a skin type of mask. Also, if you get the rawest version of honey, it's very concentrated and strong, so you don't need very much. Also, honey is good for a probiotic. Like I said, we need a lot of pre and probiotics in this day and age because they are stripping all of the nutrients from the food to make more money, and food doesn't even have the nutrients that it used to. Also, when you are buying these fruits and vegetables, try to get the organic version because, like I said, they doing so much to the food. And if you're not in America, you are probably on plus because the foods and the fruits in different countries are definitely more organic and natural. The next thing that honey is good for is digestion. It helps get things going and moving. Also, it can be good for our brain health. Like I said, honey is so healing and so natural, and again, it was used in biblical times, and it's for a reason. God created these things from the earth for us to consume, not Chick-fil-A and Chinese food. Also, like I said before, it's a natural sweetener. You can use honey over sugar. You can use honey over syrup. You can use honey over sativa. What is it called? Not sativa. Splenda. Like, put honey as your sweetener. Put it in your tea. Whatever you want to use sugar for, use honey instead. So the next biblical sacred fruit is grapes. Numbers 13:23. And they came unto the brook of Escol and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes. And they bare in between two upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranate. Grapes are good for heart health. They are good for promoting, the blood flow and the circulation in the body. And, our hearts are responsible for that. If we don't have a heart, we cannot live. Also, grapes are sodium free. A lot of these foods and vegetables, they are packed with salt. And this is added salt. This is not salt that comes with it. That's natural. This is added salt. So grapes do not have any sodium. Also, grapes are good for eye problems. Like I said, a lot of us, as you look around today, a lot of people have glasses. I know back when I was younger, it was only a few people with glasses. Like, it wasn't a predominant thing. So a lot of people have glasses now. So if you're working on, strengthening your eyes or trying to get off your glasses, try eating more grapes. Grapes are good in fiber. Again, they get things moving in the digestive system, and they can help you feel full. They are good. They have high potassium. Potassium works with calcium, and it makes us, stronger and have more energy. They're good for lung support. Like I said, a lot of us, we have issues with our lungs because we abuse substance. Not me, but people smoke and they do these hookahs and recreational type of drugs, but it's damaging your lungs. So if you're trying to stop smoking and heal your body, try some grapes. Also, grapes are anti-inflammatory, meaning a lot of the things that we are eating, they're loaded with salt and preservatives and carcinogens, and they are making our bodies inflamed and puffed and bloated. Grapes can help reduce inflammation, and a good way to tell if you're inflamed or not after you eat something is to look at your body. Are your fingertips puffy? When you wake up in the morning, is your face puffy? When you eat a bag of hot chips, is your stomach puffy? Like, that means that your body is becoming inflamed. And if you really pay attention to your body, you will feel the difference right after you eat. Like, when something touches your tongue, like, there's a chain reaction happening in your body. So if you really pay attention, you'll know when you're inflamed or not. Also, grapes are good for bone calcium. They help build up your bones, and like I said before, they are good for your energy level. If you eat a thing of grapes in the morning, you'll be on 10. You won't even feel like you need to eat. And once you start eating these real foods, you won't even sweat to be eating all the processed foods and stuff like that. So the next sacred food from God is melons. This is in the book of Numbers 11:5. Remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons, and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. So again, the people of Israel, they were in Egypt, and they remembered the fish that God gave them. And then when they was in Egypt, they was eating freely. They was eating cucumbers and melons and leeks and onions, which, if you really think about it, is crazy, because if these foods was around back then sustaining the people, these are some things that we need to be focusing on today, these types of foods, because if God was giving it to them all the way back then, these are definitely meant for us today. So again, melons are super hydrating. If you ever really watch the health videos, I know Dr. Bobby Price is a good health channel to watch. There's a lot of good, these are health conscious channels. They know about the food, and Dr. Sabi and all of them. So yeah, melons are really hydrating. We're talking about watermelon, honeydew melon, cantaloupe. There's so many different types of melons. Also, they are high in antioxidants. Melons are really good for you. If you ever do juicing, you would know that if you juice a melon, it's literally a lot of water content. That's because it's hydrating, and it has so many antioxidants. It has potassium in it. It has vitamin C in it. Melons are high in fiber, which means they will help you feel full and get things moving. Melons also have the B6 vitamin, which is found in meat, so you don't have to eat meat. And also, they help lower your blood pressure. The next biblical sacred food is lentils. Lentils is found in the book of Genesis 25:34, which reads, Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, And he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So again, this was when Jacob and Esau, which were twins, one of them wanted the birthright, so they tricked the father into giving him the birthright over the person who was actually supposed to get it. Lentils are high in folate. Folate is good for pregnant women. They need that. And the whole human body needs it. It's also good for your heart health, which means it's good. It promotes circulation in the body, gets things going and flowing the way they should. It's high in iron. Lentils are high in iron, which means that they can help those people who are cold and feel like they are, those people who are anemics and people who have issues with their iron. Low iron can cause a lot of different deficiencies in the body, and it can even cause depression. Also, lentils are good for anti-aging, which means they must have some healing properties if they are keeping you looking young. Also, lentils can be good for weight loss, which means they must be keeping you full, because if they're promoting weight loss, you're not eating as much. And also, they are a good plant-based protein. Again, if you are trying to cut out the meat in your diet, boost up the beans, the lentils, and the vegetables, and everything else that has protein in it. Deuteronomy 7:8. For the Lord thy God bringeth thee unto a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of the valleys and the hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, and a land of oil, olive, and honey. Olives, they can reduce inflammation, which means they're healthy. Also, they are high in iron, which means they will promote the healing benefit, because iron has to do with your blood. They're good for bone health, which means they can help you be strong. They can help regulate your diabetes. They are cancer preventative. They have copper in them. They have calcium, and they have vitamin E. If y'all ever use like olive oil for your hair or whatever, vitamin E is good for the growth. And also, the thing about olives, if you're eating them, you want to get the kinds that is natural. You don't want to eat some olives that are, you know, packed or jarred, because those can have a lot of sodium in it, and it basically will cancel out all these benefits. The 8th sacred food from God is garlic. This is mentioned in Numbers 11:5, which reads, remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. So again, the people in Egypt, they was eating garlic. So, and if you ever really heard about garlic and knew about garlic, it's so healing. It's anti-inflammatory. It can help with the cardiovascular system. It's high in antioxidants. It can help regulate your blood pressure. It also has manganese. So magnesium and selenium are good for the body because they help keep our mood stable and the body less stressed. If you are deficient in magnesium or selenium, your body is more likely to be like tense. Fiji water, this is one of the best waters because it's actually sourced from the Fiji island. If you look at this right here, this label actually has magnesium and calcium and silica. Magnesium and calcium go hand in hand because, like I said, they are helping the bones in the body. So selenium is really good. It has kind of the same effect as magnesium, but it's not the same thing. Also, it can help regulate your cholesterol, and it's good in vitamin C and B6. That is garlic. Garlic is so healing. The 9th sacred food from God is barley. Barley is mentioned in Deuteronomy 8:8, which reads, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey. So barley, it reduces cholesterol. You can have barley tea. It also can be, you know, it replaces like a whole grain. Also, it can lower your blood sugar. It's good in fiber, which means it gets things going. It can help you feel fuller. And it also has magnesium and selenium in it, so it really can be good for you. I never even heard of barley. That's so crazy. Also, pomegranates, which is mentioned in Numbers 13:23. Went to the brook of Iskal and cut down the tree thence the branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare in between two upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. And also, pomegranates is also mentioned in the Deuteronomy 8:8, when it says, in the land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, in the land of oil, olive, and honey. So this was describing the type of land that God had for them, and it was full of these things, and all of these things are so healing and nutritious. And not only does all of these things are mentioned biblically, but God literally was providing these types of things for the people. So he expected them to eat these foods to survive. So I'm telling you, these things are packed with nutrients, enough to keep you to survive, because back then they wasn't eating all this crazy stuff. They was keeping it simple. So the benefits of pomegranate are they can help with your urinary health. You know, a lot of women or men, when they get UTIs, they tell you to drink some cranberry juice, but pomegranate is also really good for that as well. Also, it can elevate your endurance. So if you eat a pomegranate or juice of pomegranate, it can help with your energy and keep your stamina, and it'll keep you going longer. Also, pomegranates are good for cell regeneration, which means they can help regrow cells and heal your body from the inside out. Do you guys know that if you eat a healthy diet for 2 years, it takes 2 years for your cells to grow again and, you know, revamp. So this is important if you want to stay looking younger, if you want to heal your body. Also, pomegranates have anti-aging effects, so these are good for your skin and your body and wrinkles and stuff like that. Also, they are antioxidant rich, which means they are full of nutrients and good vitamins for you. Also, pomegranates can be good for your teeth, your hair, and your skin. If you notice, like a lot of hair products these days, they're coming out with a pomegranate, you know, brand flavor. And that's because it's good for your hair, and it's also good for your skin and your teeth. I didn't even know that. Also, pomegranates can be good in helping prevent Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's has to do with the brain and the memory and stuff like that. So again, it's good for your whole body. And also the last thing is pomegranates can be cancer prevention, can prevent cancer, which is really good. And like I said, all of these things are mentioned biblically. So again, God did not provide these things to us for no reason. He provided them to us for us to preserve our body and heal our body and help our body. And these things are so powerful. There are so many more foods in the Bible, but these are some sacred foods. In my next video, I will be doing a video on the sacred herbs of the Bible. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you come back. These are the 10 sacred foods from God. Again, apples, beans, honey, grapes, melons, lentils, olives, garlic, barley, and pomegranates. If you like this video, if you took something from this video, if this video helped you, make sure you like it. I love you guys. God bless y'all, and I'll see you soon.